fans across the world, thank you for joining me again on this small little tour of inside the world that is Bullet Club. I am joined today by someone who would have been their celebration of their debut 1 year in the company after countless videos of who is this and what is coming into Bullet Club. I have with me today the man himself, Phantasmo. ELP, thank you for joining me.
What's up, Gino? Happy to be here.
Oh, look, you could be happier than Jay. Jay wasn't that happy, but that's okay.
Jay's not happy.
Well, you know, I think I annoyed him. I asked him tracksuit questions. I don't think they went down well.
Jay's really irritable.
Right? Yeah. I blame him. We're all locked away, and we're all trying our best. And I can.
Yeah. The thing is, he's in Florida, and he's got a nice sunny weather.
Well, where are you? Where are you?
I'm in Canada. I'm stuck in Canada. Beautiful British Columbia. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful, but it's raining today. It's been raining the last few days, and you can't go outside without getting wet. And that pisses me off. So
well, Melbourne's doing okay. So we are literally across the world at the moment. But I'm going to take this opportunity now. The conversation I had with Jay, I know you haven't seen it, hasn't gone up just yet, but I asked him his top 5 moments in New Japan history. Now, I'm not going to waste my time with you asking you what your top 5 moments are, because let's be honest, all the top 5 moments will include you and what you've done. So I'm going to ask you a different question. I want to ask you, your top 5 favorite failures of Robbie Eagles, because it's something I like to talk about. It's my favorite thing.
Oh my God, where do we even start?
Well, let's start with the best of Super Juniors, where he got his head split open, because that's my favorite moment.
Gushing blood. I don't remember if he won that or not. I'm just gonna say Robbie Eagles lost that match because the match where I split my head open was the Super J Cup Finals, where I defeated Dragon Lee in the finals to win. And I tell you, that cut was way worse than Robbie's cut. But looking back, kind of screwed up my face. But, I wish that cut screwed up Robbie's face a little more.
Well, look, you're known as the best-looking Bullet Club member. We often have the women fan always talk about your beauty. So I don't think it's damaged your face too much.
Oh my God, that's news to me. I didn't know that. Tell me
you are a fan favorite when it comes to your good looks. It goes you, me, Yuri Joe, and then the rest. So we're doing okay. That means a lot, because I constantly have to stand half naked beside Ishimori, who is the absolute unit of all units that I've ever seen in my life. Well, I tagged with Ishimori in Melbourne, and he made me look like a blimp, which isn't hard to do, but that man is just a shredded unit. But let's go back to Robbie Eagles and his failures.
Yeah, Robbie Eagles. There was also Best of Super Juniors where I beat him.
Again, what a moment.
That was still when we were together in Bullet Club, and I was kind of brought into Bullet Club, and I was wondering what the hell this guy was doing in Bullet Club, to be honest. And beating him at Best of Super Juniors was great, because I'm the new kid on the block when I joined Bullet Club, and then he's been around, and I show him what's up. That felt good.
Yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna mark that. So number 5, we had split head open by Doki. That's the number 5. Number 4 is when you beat him in the Best of Super Juniors. You showed
in the Best of Super Juniors.
Love it.
Yes.
Number 4.
Yes. Number 3 would have to be in Australia when we were there for Super Showdown, and he, even with my help, couldn't beat Will Ospreay, which is amazing, because I beat Will Ospreay like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And then Robbie couldn't beat Will Ospreay.
And Robbie could not do it.
Just watching him lose in Australia was a great moment. I don't want to talk about what happened after that, because he showed the world that he is a giant traitor and turned his back on Bullet Club, and now he's just in Will Ospreay's shadow in Chaos instead of being in my shadow in Bullet Club. But watching him lose in front of his friends and family was a great moment, even though it's, at that time I really wanted him to beat Ospreay, and just looking back, the fact that he couldn't do it, even when I pulled the referee out to make sure that he didn't count 3 against Robbie, and then I gave Robbie the belt, and he still couldn't do it, and then he lost. God damn.
It was his true colours, and I think that's when you realised that Robbie wasn't for Bullet Club.
I mean, I think I realized Robbie wasn't for Bullet Club the instant I met him, just by hearing the way that he talks. He's got that face. He's got that voice. He's got that little like preteen dad bod. I don't know how you get that body, but he's got it. So that's 3 for sure.
At the course there for a second, but yes, absolutely yes. But look, before we move on to the final 2 Robbie Eagles failures, tell me a little bit more about your time now currently. Like, everyone's sort of at home, it's a struggle. You're well known for your abdominal muscles. You've shown me a few sit-ups in my time, and I've tried myself. What are you doing to keep yourself in top condition?
It's really easy because I'm currently stuck at my parents' house right now in between all this traveling with the quarantine, and they don't eat healthy. So I sit there and I eat healthy, and it really just motivates me watching them scarf down butter while I choose to eat coconut oil, because that's the healthy alternative. But I've been doing cardio. I've got a treadmill here. I've got a kettlebell. I've got bands. I've got a yoga mat where I do my exercises and yoga, cardio routines and stuff. Today actually I just did 200 meters around the track of lunges.
Wow.
So instead of just running around the track, I lunged the entire way, and it's gonna hurt to walk the next couple of days, but.
So you're ready to come back, is what you're saying. If you were to get the call up today to return to Japan, and let's just say the best of Super Juniors started tomorrow, you'd be ready.
Oh, I am in 100% better shape than I was when we were going full time. This downtime.
That's something I spoke to Tama about when we had our interview, and I said to him, this downtime is probably giving you an opportunity for you to heal all those nagging injuries that you may have had, give your body that rest, because realistically, the best Super Juniors, 4 weeks of non-stop matches. I mean, you're getting a rest.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I literally was talking with my grandma earlier about how I've never felt better literally in the last 15 years than I do right now. My neck's not tight, my elbows aren't swollen, my knees don't hurt. I broke both my big toes in the last year, and just doing planks would be so painful with those 2 big toes just not having the time to heal. And now I'm literally probably at 98% of being back to normal.
Well, that's an interesting point. We got this long sob story from Will Ospreay about how his toe was broken, and yet he still managed to wrestle. You were wrestling main events. You were wrestling the Tokyo Dome with broken toes.
The crazy thing is, what I love to talk about is Desperado just put out that interview on Japan1972.com. And he was moaning about how he had his jaw broken in a death match right before Super Juniors. What I never bragged about is I had a TLC match with David Starr the day before I flew to Tokyo. Not even 12 hours before my flight to Tokyo, I had a TLC match, which had thumbtacks, tables, ladders, chairs. I was covered in blood. David Starr was covered in blood. And then I went on into Best Super Juniors and went 5-0 on that crazy undefeated streak, and then had one of the most impressive showings of it all after a deathmatch. So shout out Despe for being a little.
Well, there was a stage where it was like you're collecting all the gold. You had your gold jacket, you had the British Junior Heavyweight title, you were on your way to the Junior Tag Team titles at the time, and then won them with Ishimori. I mean, you were showered in gold at this stage, and still you're doing it injured, which, again, you never bitched about. I never heard a complaint out of you. You never came over to me and Kevin to be like, hey, it might not be my night because of this, that, and the other. You just soldiered on.
That's what you have to do as an elite athlete. You have to improvise and adapt with the banged up injuries that you get along the way. Pro wrestling isn't ballet. Everyone says that. And to be the best, you have to be able to endure like you're the best. And, I don't want to toot my own horn anymore, but I walked into my very first Wrestle Kingdom as a double champion. And I feel I don't get enough credit for that because everyone talks about Naito leaving Wrestle Kingdom as a double champion. But how long has he been in New Japan?
Years, almost 10
years,
now.
Probably a decade.
Yeah, almost 10 years now. Yeah.
When I made my entrance at Wrestle Kingdom, I had been in New Japan Pro Wrestling for 8 months as a double champion. And I don't think enough people talk about that.
And I agree. I think we should do a special on your rise in New Japan, coming in as this glorified junior heavyweight. Do you think, like we're seeing Ospreay now and Robbie, talking about heavyweight success and all this stuff? I mean, Robbie would never be a heavyweight, let's be honest. But is it something you've ever thought about, or is junior where you want to stay?
I mean, eventually you want to go up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
You want to be able to prove yourself against Ibushi and Okada and Naito and all those guys. But, right now, literally not even a year ago, I came into Japan as an unknown. Nobody knew exactly who I was. And over the course of the year, I proved who I was. And now that I've kind of got everything settled, I'm a little more comfortable in my surroundings. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to show the world that I am the king of the junior heavyweights. So I'm going to enjoy this for a little bit. Liger with an absolute bell end. Hiromu, he's got that IWGP junior heavyweight title. He's not going to hold on to that much longer.
No.
But, I'd like to break his neck for good this time.
It would be nice. It would be nice. I
think that would be a nice. It wouldn't even be a main point on my resume of accomplishments that I've had in wrestling, but it'd be a nice asterisk that I broke Hiromu Takahashi's neck and ended his career for good.
A nice little 2020 goal. Let's be honest.
I can't wait.
So we've had Doki splitting Robbie's head open. We've had Robbie losing to Ospreay. We've had you beating Ospreay and then Robbie turning on you in Australia and showing his true colours. Give me your top 2 Robbie failures.
All right, well, number 2, how about is a combo? How about the time we beat Birds of Prey in Kagoshima for the titles?
What a moment.
That was almost like 30 minutes. A very good match that they lost.
Insane.
Or we could talk about the opening day of the Super Junior Tag League where we beat them again. I can't really pick which one is my favorite.
I just like either beat the Birds of Prey. We could just put number 2, always beat the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, always.
Always.
I'd love to do it again, but I don't think we need to.
You don't need to prove it.
At this point.
You don't need to prove anything. I like it. And again, our number 1 Robbie failure. I'm ready for this. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to hear what's the worst thing he's ever done.
How about being stuck on the pre-show for Wrestle Kingdom?
Hey, look, that I was on the pre-show of Wrestle Kingdom too. It's not that bad, but I like it. Stuck on the pre-show.
But you also made the main show.
I did make the main show, but I debuted on the pre-show a few years ago in the Rumble. I didn't do too well, but Robbie Eagles, after all his success,
how much longer has he been in New Japan than I have?
Much longer.
Way longer.
Years.
How many titles has he won?
None.
How many Super J Cups has he won?
None.
Oh, right. That's because I beat him in the first round in Seattle.
0.
That's a little bonus question. But after all that, he still couldn't even get the main show of Wrestle Kingdom, where I walked down as a double champion. You know what? Robbie Eagles has never beaten. He's never made me top up, and he never will. And that's what I love about Robbie Eagles.
Everyone talks about, he's so great, he's so successful, he's truly the only Australian to make it in New Japan, which I'm really disagreeing with there. But let's be honest, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the ELP factor for me.
I mean, not many Australians do, besides you, of course.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, he's not really in a hard field of competition where, me being from Canada, there's so many great Canadian New Japan wrestlers that have come before me that I'm not going to name any of, but
You don't have to. We know.
there's a lot better Canadian wrestlers than there's Australian wrestlers, and you know, if my name's not at the top of the list already by the end of 2020, it's going to be.
Well, we very much look forward to having you back. You're probably one of the most exciting juniors that has ever come into New Japan's ring, and it's always a pleasure for me to call your matches. And I look forward to more gold and more accolades coming your way. ELP, thank you for joining me on this short little video. I don't want to take up too much of your precious time, but if you want to leave your fans, as we like to call them, with a message, please do.
No, I hate you fans.
I like it.
You know what? No, honestly, this pains me to say this,
Okay.
but I miss you guys.
Oh.
I miss the fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I miss making my entrance. I miss grabbing your stupid LIJ hats and throwing them to the upper deck. You know, I miss it when you bring newborn babies to a wrestling show and I walk in front of them and I yell at them and they cry. I miss that. I miss that sound that the New Japan Pro Wrestling fans make collectively when I beat their favorite superstars. You can just feel the 1, 2, 3.
The air gets sucked out of the room, doesn't it?
And I suck that air out of the room, and I miss that so much. And honestly, stay safe, guys. Look after each other. Look after yourself. The sooner we all get through this, the sooner we can all get back to enjoying the best wrestling on the planet, and that is New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I was going to say ELP, the best wrestling on the planet. But thank you again. I appreciate it. And we will chat again soon, I'm sure. Thank you, ELP.
God bless, Gino.
Thank you.